Alice, what is trending in the news? Dallas shooting, initiative to raise the minimum wage.
But I caught a lot of crap.
In Arizona's doing.
Don't really care. But you know, I'm an executive committee, and part of being on the executive committee is that you say you will support our candidates. If you can't do that, then get off. You need to be reading bylaws. It's pretty clear in the bylaws.
Well, that's why I brought the socks in.
Oh, okay. Aw,
I think that's
Oh,
what,
yes, Robert invites, brings me
I
in
like that.
instead of Tyler for all
good for you.
That's
Yeah,
cute.
Tyler,
Thanks.
he goes to all that libertarian
Okay.
stuff. And what he's getting paid by that libertarian group to do those classes. Yeah. I'm very good friends with Timothy Lee and stuff.
Timothy and I are,
Oh, he's,
when he was in the hospital there recently.
yes,
His
yeah.
foot's still, but
It's pretty off. I went and visited him when he got out, went to the hospital and over. That's all. We chat almost daily.
I like him so much.
Yeah.
Nice man, smart.
You must like him better than me then.
I do. I do.
Yeah, because we don't chat daily.
No, no. Because he texts me all during the day and I'll text him back. We do fun stuff.
Which boyfriend is this?
Timothy Lee? Yeah. That's who he calls me. I'm his secret girlfriend. I feed him stuff. I'm like, okay, FYI, Timothy. We have a lot of mutual friends. 'Cause he was in Pinal County when I was. It just looks like you're going to be a busy man.
I know. So the last day,
So
I
are you
said,
going to
just
just
pack
be
up to
taking
leave.
things of Red Bull?
Huh?
I'm taking a case of Red
But
Bull.
George doesn't sleep anyway. I think George
Right.
averages about 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
They really, you don't get much sleep back there when you're running on
He's
adrenaline.
been to four conventions
Wow.
altogether.
Oh, wow.
Because he was with the Reagan administration, so he had help.
But
he
it's
was
not
there.
as a delicate, putting them together on the other end.
Yeah.
Now
Which
he,
is even less sleep.
well, he was there like, what, 5 days?
Yeah, because it's months of less sleep prior in preparation. It's not the event, it's the preparation that kills you before.
He was there like a month ahead at each convention.
Yeah.
Setting
Wow.
up. So that's,
Wow.
and that's a lot of stuff to set up, because by what I
The
understand,
typical hours we would have, I handled, at the last one I did was the, all the First Lady movements, all of the events for the cabinet.
Treats anyone?
uh,
I'll put those up here.
Brilliant.
Things like that.
Wow.
You're terrible. I already had a Tootsie Roll.
George, this looks like fun. I'll be looking for you, George, as a delegate.
hey, I'm gonna be all over the place.
We'll burn that off
I
when
know.
she
Yeah.
goes
I
dancing.
know a lot of people, so.
The Coyote Ugly
convention,
She
dance.
can do it for you. She can burn it off for you.
Alberto Gutierrez and
Somebody
his wife
needs
Miriam
to. I'm
are
not doing very well.
all the daily because, you know, they're
Bling,
sitting.
bling, bling, bling. Oh, beautiful.
So I saw Alberto all the time. You're
Yeah,
Alberto,
that's
Alberto, standing in front of him, we're not giving her some.
Yeah, he was there yesterday. He was giving us a
And the memory thing too.
perspective of what to expect. Yeah.
He's been to what, 3 of them?
There's been, I think maybe 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And
That's really
Yeah. he had some special information about how much security is going from California. They said that a lot of police officers headed over there to assist and stuff. Yeah, because he's privileged to that.
When I was with the AG's office back in the 80s, we had a 5-man security team for the Attorney General.
I've never had to say that in real life.
They currently
10
have
years.
30-some man security team for the Attorney General.
They went up to
I
30.
have dieted. I mean, I've done like HCG.
That's crazy.
Drops.
I just saw Obama getting off the plane from Hillary. There must have been about 60 cars following, different vehicles. Because I remember, who was it? I think it was Clinton. When he came to Phoenix one time, and I was just happened to be in the corner when his thing passed by, and I was like, car after car after car after car. And it's like, they travel with a lot of.
Because I like
Well,
it
in
anyway.
the ambulance, there's a full surgical
We
team,
went,
always one.
my husband's
So they can, and then they will prep the
and
closest hospitals that have the highest degree of medical. They'll make sure there's a stockpile of his blood there, the whole thing, just in case. Plus the local military bases, the closest one will be alerted in case there's an issue.
You do yoga.
All of your
Try to do it.
route is pre-checked. There'll be somebody that'll go into the sewers and check them, make
Stretching
sure there's no
yoga.
explosives.
It's
All
not
of
that
mailboxes will be removed, anything that can
but
trash.
it just helps me.
All of the sewer lids will be welded shut, spot welded, so you can't get in. You'll have snipers along the entire route if any, or anything you're doing. And it's all
They have it,
quite a
Just for the
effort. Then you
president.
have to have White House communications agency come in, set up all the communications for those events. Because you have to be able to, from any particular location, be able to, if there was a national disaster, set off all the defenses of the United States. Or you have to do all of this kind of stuff from any particular location, wherever you are. And if you overnight, it's even more. Typical hotels where they overnight, you literally have cables, like this many bundle of
it does
cables
make a difference.
going down the halls, connecting everybody. So it's not, and then you layer it. You have your staff, your president, your staff. So you're taking up 3 or 4 floors of a hotel or a building too, and then the perimeter security. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy. You have a press advance for the president, a lead advance, a Secret Service advance, Air Force One advance, WACA advance, which is the communications agency, and that is your lead team, your lead advance.
Here, let me give this to you, because that has both stories. The
Secret
raise
Service has
there,
Secret
and then
Service.
followed up
If there's an
with
issue
near the
between
back
those two,
for
it then
the
goes to
the taxes.
Secret Service and the Chief of Staff of the White House to decide.
There's a lot
You know
goes
what,
on,
I don't see the paper anymore.
that's all our money goes to.
I need to see it.
I mean, I like to keep the president
I
safe.
like to make sure my
He is the
name's not in
president.
there.
We were in Atlanta.
No.
March for opioid summit.
My Mary Kay director.
Usually, because he told them that we're big announcement, he was gonna push his big piece for I don't know, back over.
You know, because we
decided to come
things on Facebook where
a week before the event.
In my high school class, they put a Facebook page together, so they was
What?
now that kind of watches for all that.
I mean,
which is
and I
nice because
knew,
I
yeah.
was yeah.
I'm going to my
And I was telling you, have you ever been at an event because you don't have VIP?
see who does.
Oh,
Who's still
oh, no,
alive?
he's gonna, I said,
Because
we're gonna be back
I'm surprised
behind.
how many of ours, there's some
Guarded,
of
I
them
said,
that were
they'll
gone.
only have a VIP area that's accessible to him, but it won't be very many, because then you have your press bag.
Yeah.
George, do you want this? It has sports.
The layer, so you
For
have
anything?
your security, your press, your VIP area, then the general
Okay.
admittance.
And they were
Thank
like,
you.
oh, no,
Well, for our small town, we
and I
went
was
to
like, these novices that have never been, I think, so.
You just don't go and speak.
Every
And of
person
course-
that's in the entire
We
building
just have
that
to
has
have
access
time.
to anything has to have
We
clearances,
have to
and they have to go through that.
And I don't think Mason High was quite as
Police,
large.
anybody that had additional
Oh,
perimeter security has to have the security checks done.
So do you go to the
I
reunions?
work with the
I've gone to
DEA,
most of them.
and so the guys that were back there were good friends to our fathers. They were so excited for, oh my God, this year,
You see.
Ohio, and I was
I
like,
guess
yeah.
it's different too when you live there. 'cause
So I'm sitting with
I
them in
lived
the
there for
back.
30 years.
They
When I
come
go back,
back.
I get to see
And
them.
of course, they can't see me because
And there's
they're
about 5 or 6 of us. We were in the
So
same
I'm
first
sitting
grade
there
class
making
together.
my comments.
One
And they're
Christmas
like,
we tried to
"We
have lunch.
love you, where are you from?" And I was like, I can't stand this guy. He's just so bloated. But
Yeah,
I
I never seen probably much about anybody from high school,
And
so it's
typical
like,
Obama had to make it about himself. And I'm there, doing work and stuff.
it's
and
nice to go to
people are
like,
aren't you? Number one, you can't see him.
Who's still
He's
around,
behind the
who's-
press.
Yeah.
Up on the platform.
It's,
And I
yeah,
said,
that's interesting to me.
what's he got to add? He's already dropped his
And a lot of
legislation
people,
that
you
he
know,
wants to
have
pass.
different personalities.
What's he gonna add to
and
this?
some haven't changed.
And the DEA guy was talking about how terrible
Yeah, but
it
they're
is
in high school.
on our border.
And I didn't like you then.
And some like this one guy.
The cartels
First
in
grade
Mexico
class, I'm like, where's
fighting
Felix? How come he
Colombia
doesn't have this last
cartel.
one?
Because the Mexican cartels are trying to get their
Black's wife is still around
heroin
He
into
left
the East Coast.
from the scow.
So there's
got
a
into the
huge
became
that Mexico, just south of Sonora, that was
so
huge south.
That was really cool.
We've known since the
Pulled together,
1980s
moved
that
to
was going
July.
to occur. Even then, when it's doing it, it's just crazy how that all
You're not
happens.
stupid. Once you get older, you're not
So
supposed to
that's
do
what
that
we
at
talked
25.
about. We were talking about.
I thought that was mine.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's so sad because I'm like, I don't even want to listen to
I don't
this.
have
You guys are much more.
No cooties?
I used to work with Jack Lawn when he was the director.
Yeah, I brought it over here.
Years ago.
I didn't realize mine's
And also South
it's a
America
gold.
on drug
There you
use.
go. Sorry about
Director, you all
that.
set up over there?
Huh?
You all set up over there?
It's already been recorded.
I was worried about this live. in case you're
Yeah, you're live right now.
But the assistance that
On
we
YouTube.
provide
Give some deep dark
Oh,
secrets.
warning, you're live on YouTube.
data that we can then give out.
Warning, if you have any dark
But on-
secrets,
on the
do not
same
share
thing
them.
as
Speaking of dark secrets,
drug
Kathy, do you want to
policy
talk about, there's a story in the Wall Street Journal that
for
20
the late 90s.
service members a day commit suicide.
22.
And,
So that was, well, that's
they're
today in the
not
Wall
really-
Street Journal. I was just
they're
wondering.
not really sure
increase the
the
price
number,
so
but
high
there are
that
like.
That's
people can't
tragedy.
buy it.
That's
And
just,
the half
oh.
is the drug dealers
And if there could be any
don't
number of
pay out their
reasons,
suppliers
but
$100 or whatever.
It's
And
just
I don't know if
awful.
you remember,
Drugs
because
get
you didn't
through.
meet Kathy
They-
at
so
the
they have
history.
really
She
low
has a
cost.
son who came
That's
back and
cheap
it's a
anyway.
terrific story.
Uh,
And he had to go
the
to
And they
buyers,
got it.
yeah, and they
Did he?
keep cutting it. The buyers
He
just
lost
keep stealing
both
more
legs
and
and the
more.
use of one arm. He's
Oh,
had
did he?
head injury, lost hearing, vision.
It creates more and more
But he's still,
violence, and it
you
doesn't
know,
stop
but he
anything.
has issues because they kept him on opioids for so long. Now he has
I
addiction
know, I
issues. He's
agree.
got,
And I'm one of those
it's
people.
just-
oh my goodness, poor
You know,
guy.
and I don't know if you want to talk about that person.
You know, there's so
One
many
minute,
things that happen.
I saw a story in the family.
to
The guy gets some help. They give him too many drugs and he says, Dad, I'm in trouble here. I was working with They go to save him and they the guy ends up dying.
Hey, we got it. Is everybody set to go with their
Oh,
audio
could you turn me
levels?
down a little bit, please?
Is that you?
Thank you.
And I love.
You can hear if you want to. You can just tell them. You'll just hear us.
oh,
30 seconds.
It's okay then. Because I can hear you.
Play the commercial.
I can't hear you. What?
To play the commercial.
Is he going to play the off the top?
These guys have no idea. Swing it, Martin.
Dale gas, baby, dale gas. Headline news, commentary, and interruptions. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I just have to say how much I love that music. Can I just tell you?
You know, that's the best, especially on a Friday night, to get you going. Now, we do have an in-studio audience, and the ones that didn't have headphones have no idea what the heck we're doing.
We were dancing like a salsa to this Latinos para Trump music.
Trump. This Latino's gotta vote for Trump.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Friday edition of the Chips and Salsa Show. Today is July 8th, 2016, and my name is Martin Gonzalez. Today in history, boy, right off the bat, we go right into stuff. Today in history, 1776, Colonel John Nixon gives the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence at Philadelphia. How's that for a little,
That is so
a little
cool.
factoid?
And Nixon. The guy's name was Nixon.
Yeah, I don't know. Any relation to a former president of the
I wonder.
United States?
I wonder.
In the studio, we lovingly refer to as El Molcajete, is the only woman who makes any sense in radio. America's Oracle, Alice Lara.
Hola, officially, and I'm probably one of the few women in radio, so I'll take that. I'll take that challenge on. to try to make sense as I get my guac on tonight.
And Don Jorge Ortiz,
El Alacrán.
the Scorpion King. Scorpion King.
I'm all over the place.
We have a very special show for you tonight. We invite you to be a part of it. Call 602-277-KFNX. That spells 5369
Yes, sir.
in numbers, in numerical numbers. That's 602-277-5369. Plus, call in right now for your chance to win a $50 gift certificate to Rosita's Fine Mexican Food Restaurants.
Delicioso.
Our in-studio guest, Frank Thorwald, first vice chair, Maricopa County Republican Party, will be talking about the upcoming Republican convention at Cleveland. Also, Frank has served as chief advisor to U.S. presidents and U.S. attorneys general, which means he can talk about the FBI, can talk about special treatment for Hillary, and security clearances, and what that means.
There's just about not anything he can't talk about. He's amazing.
He is brilliant. Also in studio, brilliant Kathy Pierce, founder and CEO, Arizona's Heroes to Hometowns, and she'll be talking about veterans issues. Very compelling stories that we're going to hear there. Alice, what's trending in the news today?
Oh man, lots and lots of stuff going on, of course. We can start with the biggest story that's in everybody's mind right now with Dallas and the terrible things. I think the last that I heard, there were 5 police officers that have been killed, and there's still some that are in danger. And one thing too we can ask Kathy about in particular is the shooter, and they say that it was a lone wolf. However, somebody is saying at the beginning, they say, I don't know, there's some conspiracy out there about that. But the focus appears to be on the fact that he was a veteran. And if you look at the photos, they have a photo of him in his uniform. So we could talk to Kathy Pierce about that.
I don't know why he did that. Was he wearing a uniform when he shot the police? So
They
why?
have to remind
See,
you.
it's salacious then, is
They
what you're
have
saying.
to show you, that he was a veteran. And I think I read a little bit about it. It was private first class. Anyways, it's a very interesting story, and it's horrible. And our hearts go out to our police officers and their families.
Well, all the victims. It's a
and
tragedy,
everybody.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And aren't they talking about, is there something that's supposed to be going on tonight with some sort of
Yes.
demonstration or something downtown with the Reverend, help me with his name.
Jarrett
Jarrett Maupin.
Maupin. There is to be, I don't know what time it's going to start. I imagine it's already started.
8
But
o'clock.
in fact, 8 o'clock? Okay. So in fact, they were planning to have
Right now.
a protest right there, just like happened in Dallas. And our city councilman, Sal Ciccio, I heard it for him on the radio, and he kind of suggested, you know what, with everything going on out there, maybe you might want to rethink this. But Jarrett Maupin said, no, we don't. We're going to go ahead and go through with it. But you just every day you feel like the big cities are very vulnerable. Every place. You really should never take anything for granted.
No, it's crazy. Chaos erupts as shots fired during a protest against police brutality. The whole notion of people getting shot at something like that, it doesn't even make any sense.
Well,
It's a protest against police brutality.
And the irony is they are there protesting police, but who's saving them from the shots? The police go out there and then they become the victims.
They become the victims.
It's our world is just very different today. What can I say? Also, we wanted to we have to mention, and this has kind of got sidelined a little bit, but Hillary's, and I can't say this word, but you can guess what it is. Hillary's gets FBI pass. Okay? And did you get to watch any of the hearings? No?
I did not watch the hearings.
They were very interesting, and of course, if you watched him, he basically laid out everything that she had done, but in the end, he did
You're
not
talking about-
recommend the FBI director, Comey. Comey, excuse me. And in the end, said, no, I don't recommend that she's prosecuted, which I don't really think that's for him to say, but already had been set up that Loretta Lynch said, well, I will, whatever she says, or whatever he says, I'll go with that recommendation. So I watched part of it, and I will say I was very proud of our own Congressman Gosar, who said, and if I have I think I recorded his words, but he said, yeah, she should be gone after. And he made no words about it.
Well, Loretta Lynch might say that she's going to go along with the FBI, but the GOP Republican Congress says that they want to open up a new Clinton FBI probe. That's just in the Wall Street Journal today.
And they also interviewed
So-
him. Also, already too. He was.
I'll read this to you here. House Republicans said Thursday that they would seek a new Federal Bureau of Investigation's examination into Hillary Clinton. This one focused on whether or not she lied to Congress. Interesting.
Perjury. Well, and the other thing they may
Smells
not be
like
done
perjury.
with as well is the Clinton Foundation.
Good.
So I'm cool with that because, as you know, this Latino is not going to vote for Hillary.
Latinos para Trump.
Latinos para Trump. The other thing that we could talk about, you brought to my attention, is
Closer
there
to
is
home.
here in Arizona.
That's right.
We have initiatives here in Arizona, and there's a wage hike. They are trying to get $12 an hour for minimum wage. And interesting lines about that is Arizona sales tax is already, which I didn't know this, Martin. You brought it to my attention, the 11th highest in the nation.
I didn't know that we paid that high taxes. And there are 4 states in the union that do not have any sales tax at all,
And
including Nevada and
Texas, I was going to say probably Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas didn't have any
The
state
Independent
income tax.
Republic of Texas.
And when I lived there, they didn't have any state income tax. I think they still don't.
But I didn't realize ours was almost as high as California. California's income tax, state income tax, is only slightly higher than ours.
That is
At
wrong,
8
man.
was it 8.25% or something like that?
Yeah, that's wrong. But, lots to talk about. What can we say? And that's only touching the surface.
We've only begun, and we sure appreciate you being a part of the show. So you're going to want to stick around. We have tremendous guests and topics that are going to continue right here on the Chips and Salsa Show. George?
Could they call in?
Absolutely. Do you want to give them the number?
Quick.
602 277 5369.
George is a man. I appreciate George. I love George.
You passed the test.
If it weren't for George, we simply couldn't be on YouTube. And so that's what's cool, too. You can watch this on YouTube right here on
And
1100
it's streaming live on KFNX.
KFNX.
They have a live stream. That's what that light is on. So if you go to KFNX to their live stream,
Yeah.
you can see the show being filmed from that angle. This
Do you want to use my iPad and go to the live stream?
No, I'm good. I'm here live streaming with my eyes.
And then we're on
It's a
YouTube.
novel concept.
Well,
To
we're not
actually
on
physically be
Facebook
present.
today, but
Yeah, I was trying to do the Facebook thing because to show Kathy, but the signal isn't strong enough in here to do it.
Alice, maybe Deborah and Frank can help us syndicate our show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What does it
do you
take
guys
to
We're
think?
going to enlist their
What does
help
it
in
take to get syndicated?
You could say we are syndicated if you cheated because we're on Central City Radio because we have more than 2 shows. But we're
Is
really
that
not
what it
syndicated.
takes? More than 2 shows?
It takes some.
It's an
to
extension
piss
of
some
logic, but yeah, okay.
extension of one.
Well, you guys get syndicated and have me on like once a month as your veteran
Okay.
specialist.
Our specialist.
Yeah.
Our special segment with Kathy Pierce.
Yeah.
I like it.
You can always call
Oh,
in and
okay.
give us an update. Call in and win that gift certificate.
Not a drum.
I tried to get her to call. She has her phone out. I said, call.
Call in now.
Call in. Get this gift certificate.
Get a gift certificate. Do you?
You can call.
We'll give you one. Don't worry about it.
You call it? No, let someone else call it.
Can you call in from here and ask questions?
Yeah, I could.
We'll have you in the
Call
background
in
when it's on the
and
radio.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to
I'll
win
get
that gift
enough
certificate.
I'll
Yeah.
get enough veteran and ask questions.
You'll end up on YouTube there with it. Calling from
It's
the
like,
studio.
Why is the caller? Why can we see the caller on
Because I'm going to
YouTube?
shut this because I was getting kind of a little bit of an echo.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on.
More chocolate, please.
Chocolate.
Hillary. In Texas, the U.S. Border Patrol seizes over $5 million meth, stuffing cucumbers, and
I've got to take care of some business. Oh, is the hearing okay on your
Yeah.
headphones?
Yeah.
Because I've got to do our little sponsor,
Oh,
and then I'll go to you
Dale,
after
right?
that.
Okay. And then can we start with the turkeys to troops, or you want to talk about the veterans issues and then turkeys
Let's
to
introduce you, and then yes, I'll give us the latest on what you're doing, and you do
Okay.
the turkeys, and then we'll go to the issues.
Okay.
We'll do that. That way we can plug the organization first,
troops? Okay.
and then don't let me go out the segment without letting you give out name, number, information.
The
Website.
what?
Alice,
Oh, the
if you're in a
website?
Republican, the Women's Federation, is that event already done too?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was,
That was Saturday or something.
that was 2 Saturdays ago at the state meeting. But we did had, and I almost was going to plug in there because our meeting Thursday, we read the Constitution. Oh, you're
That's
talking
what I
about
was
that
talking
one?
about, yeah.
That was our Arizona Central Republican Women of Phoenix.
Oh. Do you want to do a plug for the Arizona Republican?
Yeah, I might plug them.
Send them the bill.
Plug us.
Send them the bill. And I plugged your Republican women, and so now you owe me. Am I going to get a bill in the mail?
Oh, I
No.
should have brought our tumblers so you could have bought one. It was a good program, though. It worked out good. We had this guy come in, and he did, I'll talk about him here.
Gosh, why does the time go so much faster when you guys are
Hmm?
on the radio?
I know when you're talking and back
I
and
know.
forth, it goes really
It's like-
quick.
It's like when Russell had his show. It was like, you done?
It goes fast.
Yeah.
How's he doing? I haven't seen him.
He's doing good. Yeah. He's at the county treasurer's office. He's been there for 2 years.
Almost 3 now.
Is it 3 years? Yeah. Some of my brother. How do you expect me to keep track?
And we hope that we are the smartest thing that you listen to every Friday night here at 8 p.m. 1100 Independent Talk KFNX. We are the Chips and Salsa Show, and we have amigos in salsa here in the Molcajete. Introducing Gogo Gonzalez over there. Martin Gonzalez, Martin Chilibin, the voice that never stops.
Martín Chistozin, el primer comediante de los Aztecas.
Right on. And we have Alacran George Ortiz.
Yes, from the barrio.
Jorge Orale Ortiz.
I like that, Jorge from the barrio.
Jorge from the barrio.
I like that, George.
Yes,
That
That's
sounds
cool,
like a
dude.
song, yeah.
That's cool, yeah.
We'll take
Him
care
and
of it.
J-Lo.
Right on, right on. And
She's
I'm
Puerto Rican too, right?
Yeah.
J-Lo's Puerto Rican, so it's all in the family.
another Puerto Rican. And I'm Alice Lara here, and I'm the, let's see,
Lara.
the Latinita.
Lara.
We have some friends also too in the Molcajete joining us, our in-studio audience. Oh, lovely Dion.
Hi, Dion.
He's taking care of us on Facebook. In fact, go to our Facebook site. It's Chips and Salsa. That's Chips, letter N, Salsa Show. And you can talk to Dion. She's always taking care of us. And we also have visiting Deborah Miller. Some of you know Deborah. She's
Hey,
down
Deborah.
in Political Land.
Hola!
She's here with our guests, who I'll introduce in just a moment. Before I do that, I don't want to forget, we have a new sponsor, relatively new, and he is my very, very good friend, Jose Teo, who owns Teo's Landscaping. And if you're tired of looking for a landscaper that you can trust, I have to tell you about Teo's Landscapes. And we finally got the backyard we always wanted, and we recently added some beautiful pavers to widen our driveway. You can trust Teos because you deal personally with the owner, Jose Teo. Teos Landscapes can take care of your regular yard maintenance as well as professional hardscape designs. You can call Jose today for a free estimate, and you call him at 480-309-5182. That's Theos, Tello Landscapes, 480-309-5182. So please give him a call. Tell him the Chips and Salsa show crew sent you, and that we would love for him to have you as a client. So let's see if I have anything else to do before. Oh, I do want to plug also. We will get to you, Kathy Pierce, in just a moment. I want to plug my Central Republican Women of Phoenix Club. Last week we had Leilani Cortez in here, and she talked about her friend that she had come all the way from California, and he did a fantastic ceremony called Oh Glory Speaks, and it was all about our wonderful U.S. flag. It's kind of a good intro for you, Kathy. And he goes through and it really talks about the whole history of our wonderful flag. And then what we did is we read the Declaration of Independence, and like that, since we just celebrated the 4th of July. But I want to give them a plug, and if you want to get more information about our club, it's crwop.org. And I am the first VP over there, and we'd love for you to check us out and come. We meet every first Thursday of the month. And now we have just a super wonderful guest. We haven't had her for a while. I'm so happy that she came back. And we are talking now to Kathy Pierce. Welcome, Kathy Pierce.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we love having you. And you are the founder and CEO of Arizona's Heroes to Hometowns. If you're watching us on YouTube, I've got a shirt on, which I love it. She brought to me last year. Thank you very much. And they are, well, I should just let you tell about this project, but they do so many things, including helping veterans that return pay bills, finding homes, and I'm just letting you do a little 1-minute commercial about what your organization does. Fabulous job of.
Oh, thank you. Arizona Heroes to Hometowns, we work with our wounded heroes, as we call them, that are returning home after combat with injuries, that a lot of times they can no longer serve. And so we have all kinds of programs. We want them to find their new normal and find what works for them because their lives have changed. And so we try to help them find that through peer mentoring, whether it's monthly dinners so that they can meet others that have been where they've been, that new battle buddy, help them with government bureaucracy, which we know, there's not much of that out there. And we also have a program, we do adoptive families at Christmas, but we also have a program called Turkeys to Troops that we've been doing. Because one of the biggest tragedies is that these young men and women come back and often are underemployed or unemployed at a higher rate than almost any other group. But for them to sacrifice everything they have and have to worry about having a Thanksgiving dinner, to me, is a real tragedy. When they're struggling to put food on the table or wondering if they're going to have a Christmas or a Thanksgiving, and this is one way we help. And to do that, we need the community's help.
That is so wrong, and it's so sad to think that they are among the most underemployed. And you would think they'd come back. I mean, and they'd have good skills, and people would want to hire a vet. It's not like the World War II days, evidently, huh?
No, it isn't. And the economy doesn't help, and the stigma that goes with combat veterans and PTSD. PTSD doesn't make you violent, but so many employers are afraid of that, or maybe in a situation that is a little hard for them to handle because of things that they've had to do or see. And so maybe the job they were doing before with especially our National Guard, that may be hard for them to return to.
I just want to invite our listening audience out there. If you have a question for Kathy, she's just a great resource. She's been doing this for a long time. And you could call in and ask a question, or maybe you have a story you'd like to share with us. But call in to 602-277-KFNX. That's 602-277-5369. If you're out of the area and want to call toll-free, it's 866-536-1100, 866-536-1100. We'd love to hear from you. And if while you're on the line too, make sure you talk to Josh and get your name in and your number for the $50 Rositas gift certificate. So you've been doing this a long time, and tell us about your annual Turkeys to Troops. That's a big deal that you guys do.
It is. Last year we were able to help over 1,800 military families have a Thanksgiving dinner that possibly they would not have had. And we work with local food banks and those, but our biggest need is in the turkeys. But because I don't have that big of a freezer, what we do is grocery gift cards so that they can go and pick that turkey up. And so that's where we really need the community's help, is to help us provide those grocery gift cards. And we do this 6 locations throughout Arizona. And so we want to be able to make sure we're reaching that population and that they don't have to worry about putting that Thanksgiving dinner on the table. So with your support and your donations, we can make sure we complete those food boxes with that grocery gift card for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's great. And if you still have room, I'm sure someone would like to help you out. There's a store out there that you don't have on your list yet.
Oh yeah,
they can call you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And give out your information. We'll do that again before we end the interview as well, if they want to contact you.
Yeah, it's at AZ for Arizona Heroes to Hometowns.org. And you can find us on Facebook as well at that AZ Heroes to Hometowns.
And just to let our audience know, I first met Kathy. In fact, Deborah Miller, who's in the studio here with us, she was coordinating programs for the AZFRW, and she did a workshop
and she had Kathy come in. So I went to the workshop, and she told all about the story about your son, who has experienced this coming back and was a wounded veteran. And it was a heartbreaking story, but at the same time, the strength and that this family went through. And I remember your words, Kathy, and I don't want to give tears to myself as well too. But you're like, you know, we were so touched with it. You said, well, if it wasn't for us, you know, why not us? God picked us, and there must have been a reason, and we can do this. So she's not just doing this because she's a wonderful philanthropist, but she's got a lot of good personal experience and just a wonderful, good friend to be doing this. Before we get on to, because I do want to ask you about some current issues and things, is there any other things you want to mention about your wonderful organization? Sometimes people overlook.
Oh, yeah. We, like I said, we do have our Turkeys to Troops coming up in November, but we also do adoptive families, so we'll be having a toy and pajama drive, as well as one of our big fundraisers is the Salute a Soldier 5K, which will be in Gilbert in Saturday, March 11th. So again, you can find that information on Facebook or on our website. It will be up on the website soon.
Oh, that's fantastic. I want to ask you quickly, too, with the Dallas shooting that just happened. They're emphasizing, as I was talking earlier, on the fact that he was a veteran. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yes. There's bad or evil people in every aspect of life, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's military, whether it's, you know, Christians, Muslims, Jews. But we can't define our military by that one person. And that's what I see is happening. And it's tragic that our military is having to pay the price because this young man made a terrible decision.
Well, there's so many of our guys and gals that need our help, and we want to support them as best we can. So I sure hope that we can have more people go and support you. And it's just incredible what you do. I can't say enough about you.
The website again is
azheroes2hometowns.org.
Wonderful. And do look for her on Facebook. And Kathy Pierce, it's been great talking to you. And you can stay with us if you'd like. We also have our next guest coming up, Frank Thorwald. Stick around for more of the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lotta here with George and Martin. I'm laughing. I got it right, didn't I say Thorwald? Okay.
You said it right.
All right, very good.
I was just laughing at Martin.
Don't go away.
we do. It's like Thorwald?
Thorwald.
Question mark? She says with a big.
Oh,
Just say with a big puppy question mark.
Thorwald.
Every time he
Thorwald.
every time he was practicing, he kept saying Thorwald.
I kept saying Thornwall.
And so we
Like
just
Cornwall Jackson.
Cornball
So we kept
Jackson.
Cheesy is easier.
That guy.
Thorwald.
Cornball Jackson.
Cornball Jackson.
Cornball.
Cornball.
That's pretty good too.
Frank Thornwald, affectionately known by Cornball.
The Chips and Salsa Show has named you.
maybe have to give it
That's your cornball.
a full legal name, and that's forget it.
Thank you, Kathy. Good job.
Oh, thank you guys.
Nice job.
Like I said, I'm happy to be your monthly
Hey,
veteran person.
we might,
Okay.
Well,
That-
and you know what, too? On our Saturday show that you had done,
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring back the military moment.
Okay.
And we highlight a veteran. So
That's
if you want to throw
very-
any guys and gals to me, we want to give them a whole segment on Saturday.
And that's gotten very viral with our Facebook posting now of it.
Yeah.
Filming Facebook on Saturday. It's very, a lot of people are tuning in. So
You see me.
consider
Yes, I can see
You
you.
see me. I see you.
Now, is that the one that's on the internet? The
On
one
YouTube.
on that's on the YouTube on Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, no,
But it's on the
it's on internet, YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
It's all over.
It's all.
And we're trying to get we're looking at getting cable TV, but it's some time away.
Yeah.
It's a guy that we're working on trying to see if we get a sponsor for that.
It's so much money the RNC has to sponsor us.
He reaches 7 million people, so it's like we'll be up in the stratosphere by then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're.
So is that one more like a podcast? You guys do podcasts? You should save them and do them that
It'd be
way?
like
We
a
do-
video podcast, yeah.
We do our podcasts on SoundCloud, so you can get
Yeah.
them through the website, and then KFNX does them here for these shows, and Central City Radio go to the website and they podcast their shows.
George,
too.
so you're going to bring in the segment,
Oh yeah. I forgot.
and then you'll take it out.
It's so hard for me to take it out. I'm getting better.
You're awesome, George.
Awesome sauce.
That's the smartest thing I have.
Now, you're not going to be here next week, George, but you are going to be here, right, Martin?
No.
You better be here.
All Alice.
You better be here.
Night.
It's okay. I'll call Deborah. We'll just do and Kathy, and we'll do the
That's
girl
right.
show.
Okay, a girl show. I
We'll
like
do the
that.
muchachas, chips and salsa.
Chips and Cheetos.
Chips and
We'll do
chachas.
chicks with chips and salsa.
Chicks and salsa.
Chicks and salsa.
Okay. Chicks
The
and salsa.
chicks and salsa show.
Chicks and salsa.
Dion, you can join us.
You know, we should have called the show Chicks and Salsa, taken this completely different place.
Maybe we
could
do
have
a
gone
chicks and
whole-
salsa hour.
We could still do a Chicks and Salsa.
Well, when Loops do Friday, I mean Saturday, it is the chicks and salsa show.
Dion, Loops, Sonia, Deborah,
Mm-hmm.
Chicks and Salsa, I'm telling you.
We'll all get them look ahead
Get
there.
Kathy in there.
Right on.
Chicks and Salsa.
There you
Bring
go.
Relaine in.
Elaine.
Deborah.
What I see? Where's another story? Ah, here it is. As I prepare diligently.
It's rolling. It's coming.
Come back, George.
Show us the way.
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge. And the Scorpion.
Scorpion cake. Scorpion
And with me in the house is Alice Lara, my co-host,
Hola, Jorge.
and Martin.
Martin Chili Bean.
Gogo Gonzalez.
Welcome back. Of course, our main sponsor here is Rotiza's Fine
What's the
Mexican Food Restaurant. And you can listen to us on chipsandsalsashow.com. And also we're on YouTube under Sonia Salsa S.
We're thinking of doing a spin out of our show and calling it Chicks and Salsa.
Ooh,
What do you
that's right.
think?
That'll be.
I like it.
An all female cast.
Ooh.
I
Chicks
like
and
it.
Salsa.
And we do that sometimes. Loops and I were on
That's
Central
true,
City
you
Radio.
do.
Well,
You got
Loops
Sonia
and I.
Dion, of course, from our
Chicks
show.
and Salsa.
We'll invite Kathy Pierce, Deborah Miller.
Mhm.
We're going to fill it up with nothing but women there.
Chicks and Salsa.
I'll be filming in the background.
I think we got a hit.
It'll be a
Alright.
hot show.
Oh, yeah.
Hot tamale.
Hot tamale. Well, today we're honored to have a special guest here, Frank Thorwald, the first vice.
Yay! Great job on the name.
He's the first vice chair of the county for the Republican Party, and his resume is beyond resumes. He used to work in the Reagan administration, and he's here to talk about security stuff and also the convention. So, welcome back, Frank.
Thank you, George, for having me. In fact, thank all of you. The convention, it's coming up quickly on us.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. You're going, aren't you?
Yes, where I'm going. I'll be flying in on the 16th, and I'll be there until the 22nd. And it's been a lot of things going on.
Well, it is. I've done 3 of those and 3 inaugurals, so they're a lot of fun. They're really crazy and hectic and so many things to do, and all the behind-the-scenes maneuvering people are going to try to do to get your vote or change the platform.
Exactly.
We're going to have
Frank, we're
candidates.
dying to know about that.
Oh, it gets to be a lot of fun. Everything will happen, and
They gave us like a preliminary rundown on what's going to happen. They said don't even pay attention to that because it's going to change daily and hourly. It's just they'll slide things under our door about changes and stuff. Because we're all staying at the same hotel for Arizona, and I won't say that.
But I want to ask you guys specifically because, you know, this is all in the news about possibly rules being changed and trying to take it away from Trump and all that. Do you have any thoughts about that? How serious is that? These people?
I don't really think it's serious at all. Cruz is going to be there speaking. He wouldn't even be there speaking unless he was going to endorse Trump, and that will put it all to bed immediately. There's always that kind of maneuvering around there. People want to hold off until the end to get whatever they can into the agenda and into the party and move forward. They won't place themselves for the next election.
Who do you think would be some of the speakers? I know Cruz said he's going to be speaking. Do you have an idea of some of the other speakers that might be there?
I really don't. I really don't. It's going to be, they're going to build up till they get to Trump, try to get everybody excited, get all the iron things out of the way so that when Trump comes up, there'll be no issues and everything will move along smoothly.
Well, Frank, maybe I can ask you a question from another direction. You've been to so many events like this and bigger. Would anything surprise you? You've seen politics for the last 50 years. Would anything surprise you at this convention?
No, it wouldn't. Usually people ask me that, and they notice that I don't get excited about things. It's for that very reason. You talk about things changing, they change by the minute. And you never know. The thing that you think is least likely to happen can happen. But there are certain things that, even with that are highly unlikely. And for Cruz to get up on stage, for instance, and go after Trump is not going to happen. It would end his career. These kinds of things, they orchestrate this ahead of time as much as possible. They know what people are going to do to the greatest extent. However, there are always those surprises that occur, and that's what really makes it interesting. And the platform committee is the key thing in what's going to be on that agenda.
Could Trump announce his VP pick?
He will. I'm sure he will. That's going to be a key thing into moving the whole thing forward. Part of it is to get the bump in the polls coming out of the convention and moving forward. And Trump is really putting together a whole new crew. That's when the campaign really starts and kicks in. It's usually right after the convention, all the way up to the 1st of September, when that really goes in. That's when you bring your full team on board, you get your ground game really rolling, and that's what you want to have, is that excitement right at that point.
They were saying that maybe he might start announcing or giving hints of who his cabinet might be. You think that might be
He could do that. It's not usual that they do that, but
right.
They usually wait to have a transition team after the election to do that. But given the issues today, they might do that to show that he's got a good Secretary of State or a good Secretary of Defense, people that will show that he's not crazy, he can select good people, he can make good decisions, and he will take their advice.
I like how you said that. Show he's not crazy. Do you have a prediction who his VP's pick might be?
I do not. This has been such an unusual year in so many ways. He's broken all the rules. However, in saying that, the tradition is you pick a VP that is the opposite of the candidate that will get the other part of the party and the other part of the electorate to support him. I don't see that changing.
I would love to see his daughter Ivanka, though. I mean,
Yeah,
just because,
that's what
wouldn't that just do it? If Donald Trump said, I'm going to buck everything, and my choice is my daughter Ivanka for VP, probably wouldn't help him politically. Maybe not like in the way Newt Gingrich would help him, but it would be fun.
I might be nominated as the Hispanic assistant to the president.
Oh,
Really?
is that what you're vying for?
Congratulations.
I'll announce it here.
And so you can bring in the chips and salsa when he wants it?
The chips and salsa will be all over the White House.
Frank, I have a question for you. I've noticed that the Trump committee has been putting Eric Trump out front, and Donald has kind of gone into the sidelines for a second, maybe taking a breather, maybe preparing for the convention. Is he being scarce deliberately?
I would say so, yes. It's when you take steps back, you want to get as many surrogates out there, and he hasn't had a whole lot of surrogates at this point. You're going to see a lot more surrogates out there. If the new team that he's bringing on board do what I would think they would be doing, you're going to see a lot more teleprompter speeches. He's going to try to show that the presidential side of Trump as we move forward, to ensure and to make everybody feel good about him, that he is strong, that he is not a loose cannon.
His son Eric does a really good job.
He does a great job, and so does Trump's new campaign manager, who used to work on the Reagan campaign.
He did.
Yeah.
The Manafort.
Manafort, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was part of what was he, strategic...
There was a firm,
law firm.
Not a law firm, but a consulting firm.
Oh, consulting firm.
It was Manafort, Black Manafort and Stone.
Oh, okay.
And Frank, we wanted to ask you also, speaking of you used to be in the Reagan administration, so you were the special assistant to Attorney Ed Meese.
Yes.
When we come back, what I want to deal with, since I know we're down to our last couple of minutes here, is the fact that Hillary Clinton, of course, has been in the news, and you were telling us earlier that your security clearance was at the same level as the president at that time.
That's correct.
So all that's involved in that, and I'm sure you have some interesting things to tell us about what you think.
About how the clearances is, for Secretary of State, and how you could maybe handle sensitive information, and who are you allowed to?
Well, if I'd handled it like Hillary had, I'd be in jail right now. Wow. Still.
And that's from an expert. Because Frank, you've been the highest security that they've had. Well, looks like we have a.
He has firsthand knowledge of that. So you'll have a very, very interesting viewpoint when we come back.
Can I ask you a quick question, Frank? And this is for both of you. Real quick, can you tell me how you feel going to the convention with regards to security? Do you feel comfortable? Do you think that there's going to be enough security there to satisfy you?
Without question. The levels of security from when I was in office to now is just incredibly more effective. The Secret Service will cover every last aspect of it, and all the other services will be brought in to add perimeter security. It will be at the highest possible levels.
Call in and then for the next segment, 602-277-5369, and we'll be right back with our final segment of the Chips and Salsa Show. So stay tuned and call in.
By the way, that doesn't mean there won't be trouble.
Oh yeah, because there's going to be protests and stuff, and they're even talking about our credentials. They said, don't let that credential.
Love the music, love it.
They said, don't let that credential.
That music is hypnotic. That guitar.
Yeah.
Did you like that guitar?
Yeah,
it's hypnotic.
Norm, that used to be here before,
oh, yeah,
he was real good about that.
And they're going to watch for that.
Love that music.
They'll do
really good.
what happens in
classic.
that event where the president's going to be. Secret Service goes in and does a sweep. They bring in bomb dogs, and they will do this every single day. They literally use X-ray equipment on all the walls to make sure that there's nothing embedded in the walls. They'll go through all the pipes and the underlying portions of the building. They literally will even have snipers within the crowd in the up there. They will have security people looking like they are part of the delegations in there to see if there's any things going on. The security is really quite impressive.
Boy.
They said our buses are going to go into the secure. Once they're in the secure area, then we'll get out of the buses and go into the convention. The buses will go in one at a time into the secure area.
All those buses will be even checked when they come in for bombs. The perimeter for blocks away will prevent other vehicles that could bring a bomb up from getting even close.
Right.
The sewers will be welded shut. It will be quite massive.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I know our buses will have one uniform officer on each bus, and then the hotel will be an officer assigned to the hotel. Each hotel the delegates have.
Now, it'll even be greater than that if he becomes president. Literally. And much more complicated.
Yeah,
And if you ever need it, I have his name right here. Here we go.
Headline news, commentary, and entertainment from a decidedly conservative Latino perspective. Oh, look, you're listening to the Friday Show. Welcome.
Looks like they only have
Welcome
just a
back.
small segment.
Welcome back.
Commercial.
You're listening to
Yeah,
Friday
at least they're running it
Chips
though.
and Salsa
They
Show.
hadn't told Josh about it. So when I told Robert, and he said, "Oh, because not everybody has a show, so they don't give him a permanent schedule." And when they trained him, because he's new, they forgot to give him that schedule. So they kind of owe us some commercial time.
Yeah.
The ones with moronga.
Moronga.
Or morcilla, depending on what part of
That's
your
a lot of
cuisine
Spanish there.
taste you like. Hello and welcome back. You're listening to the Friday edition of the Chips and Salsa Show. My name is Martin Gonzalez. Tell your friends about me.
I don't know if you
Does
want
that
to tell
sound
your
scary?
friends. Oh,
threatening?
do your
Is it
scary
imposing?
super voice, your movie voice, which I love.
World gone mad. One radio station survived them all. Chips and salsa, headline news, commentary, and entertainment
That's
from
our-
a decidedly conservative Latino perspective.
That's our Mexican masher voice, I think. Sounds like that.
So glad you're here in the Molcajete with Alice Lara and George, the Scorpion King Ortiz.
Howdy.
And a future job at the White House.
Future job at the White House. You know, I like the White House. I'd like to go there sometime. But I think the only thing that would make the White House better is if they could build a Rosita's Fine Mexican food restaurant inside.
Awesome. That's a
Isn't
great
that a great
idea.
Rosita's Fine Mexican Food Restaurants is one of our sponsors. We appreciate their sponsorship, and we love eating there. And I can tell you that you will love eating there if you go there. I would suggest go during lunch. Go for lunch. They have lunch specials. They have dinner specials every day of the week. Today is Friday, and on Fridays they have Alice's favorite 2 enchiladas.
Love
Rice
'em.
and beans.
Love 'em.
Yum. I do too.
Love them.
I love their cheese enchiladas.
You know what else, too? We always forget to mention this, but when you're a regular customer of Rositas,
Yes, Rositas.
before they make the Rositas, wing of the White House, they have a punch card. Get your punch card, because every time you go in there, you get it punched, and after 5 meals there, you get a free lunch or a dinner.
And you don't need a security clearance to go to
You
Rositas.
don't, and the food's just so
They'll let
delicious.
anybody in.
Yeah, they let us in.
They let us
Sponsor
in.
our show, so it's all go.
Hey, you know what? We have one of my favorite segments in Chismes y Habladores. Hillary is still Satan.
What do you mean, Martin?
In Texas, U.S. Border Patrol seizes over $5 million of meth stuffed in cucumbers and jalapenos. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I want to remind our audience, too. They can go to our Facebook site and find it there on the Chips and Salsa Show Facebook site.
That is a crazy story. That sounds like my favorite kind of piñata. Meth and cucumbers, and give me a stick.
Can you imagine? I mean, if they're Latinos, they may not take the meth out of there. They may just do it straight out of the
Straight
jalapeno.
jalapenos and meth. Who would have thought? Caitlyn Jenner wants to get pregnant and be a mom. How's that?
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
This segment of Chismes y Habladores patrocinado por Teleradio, tu radio sobreviviendo a pesar de la internet. So that's our Spanish portion of the show.
Very well
In
done.
the Martin file, gas is gas, right?
Yeah, especially.
Not so fast, sister. According to AAA, top-tier gas, which contains higher levels of detergents, is far superior to inferior-grade gas. In a recent news release, AAA reported that only 1/3 of the nation's gas stations carry top-tier gas, which keeps gas tanks up to 19 times cleaner. Top-tier gas is shown to improve gas mileage and performance, plus reduce emissions.
That's
You know
why
who-
my car sputters.
Are
you
they-
know who sells top-tier gas? Costco, QT, Chevron, Shell. This isn't a commercial. This is more like a public service announcement.
Well, I like
I
Costco
like gas.
and QT. Do you have to buy the most expensive gas they sell, or all their gas is that way?
For who? For QT?
For Costco and QT.
No, they sell this
All their
premium
gas.
quality top tier gas.
I get
That
that
is a
every
cleaner
day.
gas.
I get
It's
Costco
better for your
gas.
car.
I fill up in Costco every day.
They're like 10 cents cheaper than everybody.
Yeah.
This is like a public service to our listeners. We want to tell you.
We're
how much
Latinos.
is
We
that.
like to save money.
And we do, and we want to know more about what we were talking about with Frank Thornwald in the previous segment, security.
Thornwall.
What did I say, Thornwald? Ah! I was wondering who was going to make the mistake, and it was me.
Are you trying to make George
Frank
feel better? You haven't had a George in a long
Thorwald.
It's a thorny subject.
time.
Please forgive me, Frank. I apologize. I should have done better by you.
Thorwald.
So I'm reading in the Wall Street Journal, security clearance may become an issue. Frank, why is it so important? Why is this such a sticky wicket for Hillary? Why is this such a big deal?
You know, when you were talking earlier, it made me think of something.
What's
the,
that?
The war of the words. Maybe
Yeah.
war of the world. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, Hillary, I was saying earlier that if I'd done what Hillary has done, I would still be in jail. And I've been out of the administrations for a long time now. But you have a number of different classifications. You have confidential, secret, top secret, SCI, which is special compartmentalized information, and then there's different compartments, types on a need-to-know basis. And they're always very clearly labeled. The person who initiates that clearance has to put in a page that shows the security level. If it's within the text of a body, it has to be clearly delineated so there is no mistake. The only person that can get rid of that clearance, take that clearance off, is either the individual that initiated it or their superior. In her case, she could eliminate it, the clearance requirements for anything from her department, but not something that was initiated from, say, CIA or DOD or the White House. They're the only ones that could eliminate that.
But to hear people talk about Hillary, it wasn't so much incompetence in this case as Director Comey might suggest, but it is contempt that she has for security and for our country. Would I be close if I said something like that?
Well, let me try to qualify it in a different way. The British have a different delineation for the different security levels, and I'll just give you the top one. Top secret. Well, let me just say secret first. Secret, in the British term, which is really the same for us, is if you let something out that is secret, you could possibly bring down the downfall of your nation. If you let out something that is top secret, it could be the destruction of the entire planet. So when you think of it in those terms,
That's ominous, isn't it?
it's really anybody that does something like that is not just it's not stupid. It's not. What I'm really trying to say is that they're risking the entire country. They're risking the entire world by making stupid things like that. You let our enemies take advantage of us, that potential of it. Anything that is that risky, you don't want to do. Anything, I mean, if you have your own server like that, it's absolutely ludicrous. It's, let me put it this way. I think the director of the FBI actually did us a favor. If he had put that forth for indictment, prosecution, the Justice Department would have been spending another 4 or 5 months determining whether they were going to do it. Hillary couldn't talk about it. She could hide behind it. Congress couldn't have said anything. Now they can look at all the documents. Our candidate can talk about it. She can't hide behind it. So it's actually done Trump a favor.
Do you think, and I like the way you're thinking there, it makes me feel a little better. So now that he's put everything out there, will the Republicans take all that information, all that ammo that I like to call, and will they use it? Because even though, okay, we're not going after her, right? But we know all the things that were done or weren't done.
They'll go after her. And she'll come back with everything they can. But you know, like I said, you put out things that can possibly destroy the planet or the nation. How do you say, "Oh, I didn't gosh, it's not like putting on your lipstick or forgetting your hat or your coffee in the morning. This is something that would destroy every human being on this earth.
So now she's asking us to trust her with the office of the President of the United States.
Where she'll get even more top secret stuff and
Yeah.
stuff that could destroy the world.
Yeah, so she's just going to continue to compromise if she's given the chance.
On so many levels in a judgment, and the woman here on this panel, if you want to call it, it's so embarrassing. So we finally have a woman nominee candidate, right? Okay, girls, are you with me? And it has to be her, really? It has to be her? And, I mean, why? What are they trying to show us here?
Well, that's, I guess, a question for the next show, and we hope that our lovely and charming listeners, those of you that are in your cars, in your homes, in your Batmobiles, wherever you might
Wherever
be.
you are. Oh, quickly, centralcityradio.com tomorrow. George and I will be there. Frank might come join us as well, too.
Frank?
He might
Very
be there.
cool. All right.
And we also have a millennial, Joey Solano.
So thank you so much for listening to the Friday edition of the Chips and Salsa Show.
I'm sorry I knocked you down, but I wanted to get the promo in there. Did it work? Did it work okay?
I think we got clipped, but
Oh.
because it went to.
See, this is over here,
You can't see
and then I used to be able to
because he
see
was
in
rapping
there.
this.
Oh, okay. But see, he needs to play. He wasn't playing the music. No, they're still playing the music. We still had time.
Oh,
He's playing
I thought he was playing us out
When you play the music, you have 30 seconds. And
when he
usually,
started.
usually at the very last segment, you have a minute when he starts playing the music.